Well, hello everyone. Welcome to tonight's live stream. We are actually coming to you from Plovdiv, Bulgaria. So nice to see everyone that's here. And for all of our Canadian friends out there, happy Thanksgiving. This is a long weekend in Canada. So I know we will be jumping off at about 8:30 our time, about 1:30 Canadian time, because we have a video call scheduled with our family for a little bit of a chat. But in the meantime, we want to say hello and welcome to everybody here. JP, boa tarde. I believe you might be back in Portugal.
Sound and feel good. That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So,
Who else is here? Who else is here, JP, other than you? I see that you do have more people, and sometimes it takes a while for the comments to kind of show to us. There might be some sort of delay, but it's nice to hear that you can hear us well.
Yeah.
Right?
And actually, we were lucky enough to get to meet you guys when you were here in Bulgaria. So it was fantastic. We had a really great day with you guys. So looking forward to the next time. Keep us posted on where you are.
Yeah. I kind of know, but I'm not going to tell everybody on this stream at all. So yeah. That is good. So where are we?
So we're currently still in Bulgaria. And tomorrow, actually, we are, probably tonight after this live stream, we are packing our bags because we are catching a train early tomorrow morning to head to Sofia. And we will be back in Sofia, Bulgaria for only 5 days before we head to Turkey.
Yes. Turkey. I know.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting, right?
Northwest Coast. Gobble, gobble. Yes. Gobble. I hope you guys are enjoying your turkey dinners, because my brother was telling me the menu for today for our family. And I said to Jean, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so jealous of the food. Even thinking about it.
Exactly. But it's funny because that's one of the things that we wanted to discuss today, with the ups and downs, what is dream, what is reality, the fact that we are living this lifestyle that we want, but at the same time, some of the things that we do miss.
Yeah, there's things that we miss out on, right? And today is a perfect example of that back home, because Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. And it's my favorite holiday because it centers completely around family. There's no gifts that you have to exchange. That we love getting gifts and giving gifts, but it's all about family, right? And just being with each other and enjoying each other's company, and the amazing food, and the weather is perfect. So it's my favorite holiday. But we are also celebrating here. Hang on, I will show you. With some Bulgarian wine. This is our favorite Bulgarian wine. And let me tell you, it is delicious.
Yeah. By the way, we are not sponsored by...
No, but if they want to sponsor us, we would be very happy.
Exactly. Exactly. It's quite nice. And we had a good time. I mean, we are still having a good time. Yeah. Hey, Zach, how are you? Yeah. It's nice to see you.
No, it's perfect. That's, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for us, Bulgaria, one of the biggest surprises for us was the wine that was here. And I mean, it's hard to ship it halfway around the world. And I know Canada is a hard market to break into with our government control over the liquor that comes and goes, and the taxes and whatnot. So we had never thought that Bulgaria would be the wine destination that it is, but blown away. We went last weekend to a festival, right?
We did. Yeah. Well, here in Plovdiv, right? So we found a Facebook group of expats living in Bulgaria, and that's how we ended up finding about that. But even before finding about this, oh my goodness, Frank and Kim, they were the ones who told us about this wine festival. and we heard from them, and I went online to this
Yeah.
Facebook group, and I ended up finding about the wine
Yeah.
festival, which was good.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Bulgaria is known for their
Mhm.
strain of grapes called Mavrud, Mavrud, and it's
Yes.
honestly it's fantastic. Anyways,
Yeah.
enough about the wine because I could sit here all night and talk about the wine. But
Yeah.
we are here to talk about early retirement and our full-time travels and our
Yes.
money situation and
Uh-huh.
all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's so nice to talk to you guys up again. It's been a while since our last live stream,
Yeah.
and then we thought, well, why don't we go and spend some time with you? Because kind of we end the
Q3.
third quarter of 2025, and then we thought that's perfect timing, right? So
Yeah.
it's really, really nice. I want to see where you guys are right now. Hey, Larry. So I know that Larry, it's actually in France.
Weren't you guys
Larry
just
and
in-
Greg.
I feel like we were in Panama.
Exactly.
Like just a minute ago.
I know. I want to see where you guys are. As we've mentioned, we are now in Plovdiv in Bulgaria. We are gonna still be here for
just 5 more days.
Yeah, 5 more days before we
head
we
to
head
Turkey.
to Turkey. Right?
Turkey.
We are trying to
Turkey.
now I realize that I'm not pronouncing properly. I always thought it was gonna be Turkey, but no, it's not. It's Turkey. There's like Turkey,
something like that,
or something like that. It's a bit different, but it's nice. We've had such an amazing time, and
yeah. So I think, like Jean alluded to, the last time we kind of all sat down and had a little catch up here, we were back in Canada still. So we are into our second year of full-time travel. We left at the beginning of August, right after somebody's birthday, and we hopped on a plane and we headed to Greece, right?
Yes, we headed to Greece when
Spokane.
Yeah. When we were at the beginning of the year, we had a plan to spend more time in Greece, and then we thought, well, let's do this and go through like all the Greek islands, which we end up not doing that because of the money situation, which we're gonna be talking about later on.
Stay tuned.
But that's how we end up deciding of coming and spending some time now in Bulgaria. But from Turkey, we spent a few days there. We made our way to...
So from Athens, we went to...
Did I say Turkey? No, sorry.
So from Athens, we went up to Kalamata.
Yes.
And that's where Meteora is. And if I don't know if anybody's seen the pictures or if you've seen any of the photos that we put in some of our videos, that's where the monasteries are up on top of these really tall pillars of earth. Yeah. Stunning. So we spent 3 days there.
And we made our way to Thessaloniki, also in Greece. We enjoyed Thessaloniki quite a lot.
We were only there 4 days.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And from Thessaloniki, we made our way to Sofia, in Bulgaria. To Sofia, where we spent 8 or 9, 2 weeks, more or less, in Sofia. And from Sofia, we
came here.
No.
Yes.
We went to Bansko. We went to Bansko and we stayed for around 10 days in Bansko. And from Bansko, we made our way to Plovdiv, which is where we are now. Yeah. It's funny because from August until September, so more or less a month and a half, you are just jumping from one place to another one, to another one, to another one. And then by the time that we got here in Plovdiv, we said, that's enough.
Yeah, slow it down.
Let's slow it down. And that's what we did.
Yeah, and we put out the video 2 weeks ago, I think, about the cities that we would recommend for slow travel. And Plovdiv is definitely one of those cities. It just has a really unique vibe to it. So if you ever have the chance to come to Bulgaria, highly recommend Plovdiv. It's a really nice city. Lots going on, good food, good wine.
Yeah. I want to say, I'm sorry, but that's another reality. So throughout this video, we're going to talk about the realities of the dream and reality. But here's another one. I am having wine. I don't know if you can see the glass. It's not, Frank might give me a hard time now, but this is not the appropriate glass to have wine.
But it's what we have.
That's what we have.
Yeah. So reality check. Sometimes living in Airbnbs, we have to go out and buy a few things. So what if we had to buy, since we've been in Bulgaria, we had to buy a corkscrew because the very first place we were in had no corkscrew.
Yes.
We almost had to buy a coffee maker because it came with this teeny tiny little coffee maker.
There was a small one.
What
We
else?
also knife.
Knife, yeah.
We also had to buy knife.
And now I'm choking.
Yeah. What else? Well, knife, corkscrew. I think that's basically it. I don't think that I'm forgetting anything.
Yeah, no, there's just sometimes there's things you need to supplement. So, Damien, it's nice to see you here. I hope everything's good with you.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. And it's been a busy couple of months, and it's about to get busier yet, because from here we head to Turkey for 10 days and then on to Thailand, which will be super fun because both are places we've never been before.
And when we were talking about the 2,500 video per month, that's when we mentioned the fact that what is going to happen when we spend a month, 3 weeks more or less in Chiang Mai. So let's see if do you want some water? I have water right here. Let's see if we're going to be able to make it or not. So it'll be quite interesting.
So talking about making it.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's do a quick little, as we're talking though, guys, like any questions that come up or, things you're curious about, throw them in the comments because we will be getting to some questions in a second, but we kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of an overview of where we are right now, where we are budget-wise right now, and some of that kind of stuff. So any questions you have, throw them in the comments and we will definitely get to them. So talking about budget.
Our budget, we are going to use US numbers as a reference, which is, we initially thought it was going to be around $42,000 per year, which rounds up to $3,500 per month.
Right. And for the Canadians that are here, that's around 60,000 Canadian a year.
5,000 more or less Canadian, right, per month.
The conversion isn't so great to US, but it's a whole other thing. Amanda, it's nice to see you. I'm sure you guys are going to fully enjoy early retirement and nomadic slow travel. So So that was our budget. Our budget was $3,500 a month. And if you guys watched our little bit of a check-in video back a ways, we are slightly not on budget. What have we spent year to date so far?
We spent, I don't know. What is the number?
38,000.
38,800. By the end of, we are using until September, end of September for those numbers. So 38,000, which is $3,000 away from our, 4,003.
Yeah, about 4,000.
4,000 away.
For 3 more months.
For 3 more months. And we know that is not going to happen.
Yeah, I think that realistically, we're going to be closer to the 48,000. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit about why we're over budget and why we're okay with that, because we have built in a buffer for our spending for these types of situations. It's always been that this is a framework for us. It's not a hard and fast number that we need to stick to in order to make this lifestyle work for us, but it's a number we think that we should be comfortable living at, and that would allow our investments to keep growing and doing all their good stuff for years into the future.
Which is, even before talking about the numbers, maybe one of the things that when we were going through this exercise initially, we thought it's going to be $40,000 Canadian dollars per year, and we will be fine kind of retiring with $40,000 per year. We realized that $40,000 was not going to be enough. We ended up bumping it up from $40,000 to $60,000 while we were still in Canada. We were still working and adapting and getting ready to to this reality, right? But that's one of the things, maybe it's one of the learning opportunities, as Christine said, which is the fact that trying to put a little bit more and not kind of don't be set on that specific amount, because those situations, which is what is happening with us now, we are okay, but there might be somebody else that is actually quite strict with the amount of money that they will be able to spend every month. So
yeah, just do that research,
Yeah,
right? And
uh-huh.
and I think that was where we kind of realized that the 40,000 was unrealistic. At the time when we came up with that number, this was right during COVID times. You know, Airbnbs were very inexpensive. Inflation hadn't hit. You know, the world hadn't opened back up, and everybody was out traveling and driving those prices and stuff like that. So it's always going to be changing. I think that's the one thing also that we've learned, is that every year we kind of have to revisit this and see, okay, is this realistic for how we want to live and where we're going? And if not, we adjust our location. If we can't up the budget, or if we can up the budget, we'll up it a little bit to visit some of the places we want to see, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we said that we were probably going to be over budget. Well, we've currently spent around $38,800 US. However, it's not all for naught, because that $38,800 US that we've spent, just our daily living expenses, has generated almost how many? 620,000 points and miles, travel related points and miles that we can apply towards future flights and accommodations and all these kinds of things that offset our expenses into the future. So we are out of pocket, but we're also still earning money back. And it's not physical money, but it's value back that we can apply to future travel as well. So also good to keep in mind.
Yeah, and out of this amount, we are including the minimum, not the minimum, actually the amount that we receive by using credit cards every month. We go out, I mean, we went out yesterday, we pay with credit cards, right? But on top of that, I mean, included on this amount, it's also the sign-up bonuses from the credit cards, right? So we try to see, okay, I have a new credit card coming in, we need to make that minimum spend, and how can I make that minimum spend worth it? So that's why we end up spending a little bit more in some categories, because we know that we can recover that once it's time to stay in some locations, right?
Yeah. So JP's asking how $38,000 US has generated that type of point. So Gian mentioned that the vast majority of those points come from sign-up bonuses. So a sign-up bonus is what the credit card company says, okay, you sign up for this, whatever, Chase Sapphire Preferred card. If you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months of holding this card, we're going to give you 90,000 bonus points just for spending the $3,000 that we would be spending anyways. And that's where a giant chunk of those points are coming from. It's the sign-up bonus on these credit cards. And they're available in the US quite readily, but they're also available in Canada. And then if you look at just our regular spend, I don't have it right in front of me, but we just did a video for our members. And I think that the regular spend, so that 38,000 of just regular spending outside of sign-up bonuses, generated around 160,000 points and miles. So the sign-up bonuses do contribute a huge portion of these points and miles, but that's part of the income stream, right? Like you have to be willing to apply for a credit card here and make the minimum spend on that in order to get back 90,000 points that then translates into 2 or 3 flights, depending on where you're going, the class of flying that you're doing, things like that, right?
Yeah. And in our opinion, they are totally worth it, because some of the flights, even going through this, they spent on these $38,000 that we spent throughout the year. I think it's only $4,000 or $5,000 is the money that we spent on travel related things.
4,000.
Other than that, 4,000, right? Other than that, there was only using those points that we collected throughout the year to make it. So we are going to be, of course, using those points in the future. And by the way, when we talk about the 619,000 points, we are not talking about the points that we actually bought.
So,
right?
Going to the fact that we're over budget is partially due to the fact that we also participate in a few hotel programs where we can purchase points, one of them being IHG, because we have IHGs around the world. And for example, if we're in a city now for a week or 2 weeks, rather than an Airbnb, we tend to stay in hotels. And by buying the points, we're actually saving significantly on the cash rate of booking these hotels straight up. So it's cheaper for us to buy the points, and we do that in advance in order to stay in the future at some of these hotels, which are pretty much booked up and through till we get back to Canada.
Yes, that's true.
In the spring. So they'll come in handy in the future.
It was one of the things that initially I always thought, why everybody talks about those buying points? Are they worth it or not? They are.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. When you know how to use them and which way you are going to go and use them. So for those of you in the United States, you can get, let's say, the credit cards, let's say IHG or any other credit cards. But for us Canadians, even though, yes, we do have those, the IHG credit card, but if you don't have access to the credit cards, you can still buy the points and use those points to support you,
in your travels. And it's still going to be cheaper than going to the site or booking.com or wherever and booking that hotel independently.
But I'm curious, do you want us to create a video and talking about that showing, okay, here's like an example. I want to go to one specific location outside Canada or outside North America, and is it worth it to buy points or is it worth it to pay with a credit card, like basically in cash? Use the comments below and let us know, because if you guys are interested, we're more than happy to go and create that video for you.
Yeah, sometimes we get really excited about the points and miles thing, because we truly do believe that it's an underutilized form of payment for people that are full-time travelers or retiring or approaching retirement, because your everyday spend can really be generating you either points and miles for travel or cash back that can go towards future expenses, even if it's just groceries or paying off your credit card bill at the end of every month, right? And so we really want people to start looking at that as another form of income for them that can start offsetting future purchases in their retirement or traveling journeys, right?
Yeah, that's true. Jerome, he has an interesting question.
So yeah, we're fully honest with us, and we put down, we say we're retired, and then we put down the income that we have from our investments, right? And that's we're upfront. We are retired. We are no longer employed, but we are generating and receiving a certain level of income every year from our investments, and that's what we use, and really have not had any issues.
And not even our credit score. So the credit score, we get those numbers. They are still high, even though after we stopped working. So it is working fine for us. A great question, Jerome. We also have another question.
So yeah, I mean, I think as Canadians, the Amex Cobalt card is going to be one of your strongest earners. It's a strong earner for a couple of reasons. It gives you 5x in your grocery category, which is one of the biggest categories most people spend in, as well as dining out, right? 5 times Amex reward points are amazing as Canadians, because that's a transferable currency that you could send to Aeroplan if you wanted to get a flight there, or British Avios, right? If you wanted to buy a flight through them, or KLM Flying Blue. So you have options, whereas if you have a co-branded travel card, generally you're locked into that particular program.
Mhm.
So even with the elevated monthly expend, like the
Monthly fee.
monthly fee,
Yeah.
it's still worth it for that multiplier. Plus, generally they have their Amex offers that are going to give you back over the course of the year
Mhm.
at least
Yeah.
part, or if not all, of that annual fee if you use them to your benefit, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we love credit cards. We love points and miles. So any questions, let us know. We think we're probably going to put out a few videos coming up about them. So
Mhm.
if you have anything that you want to know about, throw it in there and we'll see if we can address it in those videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you might have seen on your screen a QR code. So if you point to this QR code, you are going to be directed to our page where we can see some of the credit cards that we use it right now. On our benefit is the fact that we started this process in accumulating points before we retired, because we knew that it might be the case of us not being able to, let's say, apply for those credit cards and maybe get denied. It did not happen at all, but we did not start collecting those points after retiring. So we started quite early because we knew that we wanted to accumulate as many points as possible. And with those points, of course, we're taking advantage of them now traveling around the world.
Yeah, and if I think back to last year, I think last year we accumulated around the same number that we did this year. So 600 to 700 this year.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a never-ending cycle, at least for now for us, because they're helping to offset our travel costs, right? So
Yes. Amanda has an interesting question.
May and November.
No.
We won't be there. We're actually leaving. We're leaving
April,
Southeast Asia in April.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure when we'll be back. Maybe into 2027 we'll make it back into Southeast Asia. But right now we're coming back to Canada. We had hoped for some World Cup tickets. That's not looking likely. And then we're going to go back to Brazil to visit family in the summer. So we're not going to be.
We are not going to be there.
Be there.
Yeah, we are going to be basically from now, from end of October until April. So that's when we will be in Asia for now.
Yeah. But if you guys show up early, let us know.
Larry has an interesting question. A chance to get approved and receive the Atmos. I think it's the Atmos card from Alaska Airlines, right? Yes. No, I actually got denied. So I think it's the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, it's with the Bank of America, and we don't have any association with Bank of America right now. So they end up not approving my request. So the goal is, by the time that we're back in North America next year, we're going to spend maybe 1 week in the United States, and you're going to try to approve again. But no, I got denied. So that's really bad. But it is, especially for people who travel 100%, it is
any Americans out there that can apply and get probably instant approval on this one. It's great because you get 3 times your spend on any foreign spend. So like as full-time travelers, everything we spend is foreign spend. So that would have been really good. And Alaska has a really great program for flights.
Yeah, especially because you have a stopover for free in one way. So we took advantage of that actually this year. So our flight was, at the beginning of the year, we were in Argentina. Our flight was from Buenos Aires to Mexico with a stopover in Brazil. So we were able to get that flight and pay one ticket alone, because Alaska would allow you to have a stopover for free, right?
It's a pretty good program.
Yeah.
Air Canada Aeroplane is also a great program for that, but you pay an extra 5,000 points, which is still really great. And you almost get 2 flights out of it.
Bulgaria was economical as you thought?
I think so. We went out quite a bit when we were here, which was fantastic, because we went out because we were meeting up with a lot of people that we've come to know through the channel, as well as other YouTubers, things like that. So we had a lot of social outings in Bulgaria, which is something that may not have been a normal occurrence otherwise. But still, other than, I think last month we were a little bit over budget, but that was because of a couple annual fees for some credit cards, not because of the costs associated to Bulgaria. If you're staying long term, Bulgaria would be a really good option for you, I think.
Yes, the thing is, I mean, when you go out, we usually go and have a bottle of wine, or I don't know, 1 or 2 glasses of wine, and that's how the money end up going a little bit more, because it's no different anywhere, right? So if you go out and if you order some drinks, some wine, so the price that you pay is higher. Like example, this bottle of wine that we had, how much was it?
So we paid maybe about 14 euros in the store for it to buy and bring home, and in the restaurant we paid almost
double the
60 less, so maybe about 30 euros in the restaurant for this particular bottle. So it's always more economical to do things at home, right?
Archangel, I think is it. I'd like to hear how you organize yourselves with tax and investments in Canada and Brazil. No, we are still Canadian residents. For taxes purposes. I left Brazil and I had to do I stopped as being a non-resident, Brazilian non-resident. So I am a Canadian resident now, even though when we go to Brazil, we spend not only in Brazil, for anywhere in the world, less than 182 or 183 days. Because if we do spend more than that amount, we are considered a resident on that specific country, according to the CRA. So we are still Canadian residents. And for tax purposes, right?
We do pay a little bit of tax in Brazil for the rental income that we have, but that's just a reciprocal tax agreement that Brazil has with Canada. So we tell our accountant about that tax that we paid in Brazil, and he figures all that out on our taxes. But we still file in Canada, no issues, and no plans in the foreseeable future to change that.
No, because it's a lot of, money, financial, there's going to be financial implication if we decided to leave Canada and become a non-resident in Canada. The fact that we just stopped work, was it last year? Yeah. In 2020, it's crazy. The fact that we stopped working last year, so we still have to file taxes and everything, so it wouldn't be a good, was it last year? Yes, right? Sorry, I'm lost. But there's a lot of implications if you decided to leave Canada or become a non-Canadian resident, if the amount of money that you basically made.
Well, it's just your investments, right? Like they then charge like a 25% exit tax on capital gains, and it just gets pretty complicated. So right now we're status quo. Nothing's changing, sticking to Canadian tax residency. And most of the places we are anyways, with our passports, we're allowed to be there for 60 to 90 days visa free. So that's not long enough to become tax residents of any given country anyways. And then we move on. So it doesn't really create any issues with the CRA or things like that. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, you're welcome. We have another question. Health spas.
No, we didn't actually know this. No. So no, we haven't actually been to one of these. We had been planning when we get to Turkey, we want to go to a Turkish bath and do like that whole thing. But no, we will be back to Bulgaria in the future though. So we'll put that one on the list.
That's one of the countries that you definitely would come back, right? Yeah. Good question. Speaking of question,
so we have another one. Yeah, we got a question. We have a few questions, but one of the questions that we received was from Daniela. So we kind of want to address that one because it's a big question. So Daniela's question is that her fiance and her hope to retire in 5 years. They're in the construction business and exhausted physically and mentally. Their dream is to sell their home and slow travel. It's hard to figure out how much to budget per month. I'm also feeling like we should have a home base somewhere. They live near Vancouver and everything there is very expensive. They just want to enjoy traveling for a few years, but are worried they'll never afford to get back into the housing market. Any advice? We are sort of looking at Colombia, but it's hard as our kids are there in Canada. They're also paranoid about running out of money, and they've only started saving around 5 years ago. So, I mean, there's a lot there, and I think that there are a lot of points that all of us have thought about and worry about and kind of ponder over as we approached retirement and trying to make the decisions of what to do, right? So first of all, we get the whole exhausted thing. I think that we both reached that point as well. Towards the end of work last year, we were done with our jobs and ready to leave. For us, in our situation, we decided to sell the house. And we decided to sell our house for a few reasons. One, we didn't really have any emotional attachment to the house. Personally, I mean, Jean has moved a couple of times, right? And moved countries a couple of times. And so he wasn't really attached to the house. I grew up moving every 3 to 4 years. My dad was a builder, so we always moved houses and never got attached to a place. So we didn't have any emotional attachment. And all of our family lived outside of Toronto. So there was really no reason to maintain the house in the city. And then we really didn't want the worry of having to maintain the house while we were out of the country. And we didn't want to have to leave that responsibility to our family or another person. So in our case,
also don't have any kids.
Yeah.
Which is another point, right?
So in our case, we decided to sell it because for us, the amount of time that we were back in Canada, we could just either stay with family and friends, or to avoid any issues there, we could always just rent an Airbnb for 3 to 4 weeks wherever we wanted to be, right? So we made the decision to sell, but we weren't so concerned about a home base, partly because I knew that my dad was in Canada if we really wanted to stay there for any length of time. But we also had our place in Brazil, right?
Yes, which is another fact. We never know. We never thought that what is going to happen with COVID. And here we are a few years after. If something happens, we can come back to Brazil, or maybe not even go back to Brazil to stay at that place. But it's just having the flexibility of being anywhere that we want. And the more that we travel, the more that we get to know these cities, and everybody lives in the same way. We go out, people, they all have breakfast in the morning, and they see the politics and they see the news and everything. There is no difference. You're basically, other than the language and the culture that we have. So selling the house, I think it was the right approach.
But we never envisioned ourselves getting back into the market either. So that's something to consider, right? Because if your plan is to, in the future, then buy something again, maybe it doesn't make sense to sell right now if you're able to rent out your house for a little bit, or I don't know. I think you need to think about what your future holds for you.
And maybe one of the things is you don't need to sell right away to start traveling, right? So just do a dry run, go out for a month or 2 months or a week or 2 weeks and see how you feel about that, right? The fact that you still have the peace of mind of, okay, if something happens, I can go back to my place. This is going to help you out. And even after your first year, just don't sell it, because if you don't need to, just keep and see how you're going to feel about it. And the more, at least to us, that you kind of distance yourself from being close to your home and you see what is out there, you might realize, I don't think that I need that.
Yeah. I think, just give yourself a little bit of time and don't put too much pressure on yourself either. You don't need to make all of these decisions before you leave home to start traveling. Maybe do it like Jean said, do the opposite. Go out for 2 to 3 months. Check out Colombia. Make sure, one, that's a place that you want to be for a majority of the year. Maybe it's not. Maybe you want to explore other places. Who knows, right? And then worry about selling the house or doing downsizing or whatever it is that you want to do in the future, right? So don't put too much stress on yourself as well.
Yeah, take your time and see what is gonna give you peace of mind. If it is keeping the house, there is nothing wrong with it. We just need to plan for that, because later on you might end up having to do some sort of maintenance that you have, even though you're not incurring those costs right now, but have like a safe net that you can, if you have to, so you're gonna have the money to for that, right?
And the fact that you're like, I think everybody worries about running out of money once we retire. I think that's just a natural reaction, because we're so used to working and receiving that consistent income that when we stop and it's not there, there's that anxiety. However, we have had the opposite. I think that even though we're hybrid investors, we've spoken about it several times, we have a bunch of our money set into growth ETFs, but we also have a large portion of our money is in dividend and distribution producing income. Over the course of the last year and a half, our portfolio has only continued to go up as we are withdrawing those dividends and distributions.
That's true.
So as long as you're confident in your investment philosophy, I don't think you're going to run out of money, because the beauty of having all of the freedom that you want is you're able to pivot your life to be able to live within your means wherever that is, right? So if you're afraid of running out of money, well, that's maybe when you go and spend more time in Colombia rather than in Vancouver, where the prices are quite expensive, right? So you guys are going to be in control of your own destiny, and I think that you'll be able to make your money last. It's a learning curve, and we're still learning too, but slowly this year we're looking less and less at the investments and just trusting in our philosophy and what we've decided to invest in, and it's working quite well.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Fire is here, Dr. Fire. So nice to see you.
It's nice to see you. To put on a house on, good for you, right? So that's Dr. Fire Ninja. He also retired. I think it was last year, the same time as us. And if you think that our lives is gonna be boring, it's actually the opposite. I look at Christine, and once in a while I always say, "What have we done today?" I mean, you look at the time; it's 3, 4, 5. We keep ourselves busy doing those things, and
time goes by pretty quick.
It does. Larry has another question. Let's see what he has.
Oh, how's our Bulgarian? Not good.
No.
Dobre den. I got that.
Yeah. Merci.
They say merci for thank you, which is really helpful, because the Bulgarian version of thank you, I, for the life of me, cannot remember.
Yeah. But let's talk about Bulgaria. How did it actually started once we got here? I
I really enjoyed Bulgaria.
No, that's what I was saying, right? So sometimes you have the impression that, I'm going to go to that specific country and it's going to be really hard and difficult to communicate.
No.
Not at all. I mean, granted, we have been on 3 different cities. I don't know if I should consider Bansko a city or not, or a town, but we've been to Sofia, Bansko, and now in Plovdiv. We did not have any problems at all communicating in English. Sometimes we go to the market. It's like a farmer's market. It's like mom and pop, and they are selling, the diversity of fruits here. And I love plants, and I go there and I say, okay, how much is it? And it's just start using like your hands, and I say this, or a calculator and a Google translator, and you make your way around, right? So we didn't have any problems at all.
No, and I think that it's quite interesting, because a lot of the younger people, so a lot of the restaurants that we've gone to, especially we've gone to more restaurants here in Plovdiv than we have elsewhere, but there's menus in English. All the waiters and people they spoke English. We didn't have any issues
at all.
I mean, there's places and there's people, obviously, it's Bulgaria. They speak Bulgarian and they shouldn't be expected to speak English, but I think English is quite broadly learned in schools everywhere, and so
Yeah.
we haven't run into too many problems. And it's also fun going into a local little bakery and just pointing at two croissants. And you figure it out. You make it work.
Yeah. That's good.
Heidi and
cool.
Jason, nice to see you guys. I hope everything's good back home. Happy Thanksgiving.
By the way, we had an amazing time. For the last 2 years when we came back to Canada, we had a chance to meet Jason and Heidi in person. The second time, Heidi. So thank you again for letting us go to your place and spending some time with you.
It and really, let us know how Romania was, because we've heard wonderful things, and it's getting added to the list. So any tips and tricks, keep us posted.
Yes. So what else do we need to talk about?
Oh, we had some more. Well, we had some points and miles questions. So I don't know if everybody wants to hear more about points and miles. Let us know in the comments if you want to hear a little bit more about that and some of the tips and tricks. But we also had some questions about like how we made the transition from working full-time into traveling full-time. So how did you do with that?
I think that we are still adjusting. The second year is getting better. When we left, I wanted to be in control. I used to do project manager, like installing software for companies, and I had my plan in place, my project in place. This is the date that we start. This is the date that went, and here's how much you're gonna be spending on some things. And I wanted to bring that to my new reality, which is retirement. Did it work? No, not really. I feel like that I was not kind of enjoying as much retirement. It's just because I still wanted to bring with me the last Jean who used to do things in a way that he was in control. Even though having a project, sometimes you are not in control. It's always a lot of change going on. But I feel like we are finding our pace.
Yeah.
We are finding our rhythm, and we are finding that money keeps. I mean, it was maybe one of the concerns that we had initially, because we always think, I'm gonna stop working and I'm not gonna have money anymore. The money that I end up drawing down is not coming back, but that's not what happened so far.
Yeah, I think it's an adjustment, right? We all of us, I have no doubt, have been go working and looking after families and organizing our lives and doing all of that for so many years that pace is something that we're quite used to. And so when it disappears and you just have yourselves to worry about and your own time to manage, and you don't have any other really responsibilities to worry about, you're kind of left in a little bit of a limbo. But it's just a process of adjustment. And I think that we've now really, this time around, this second year of full-time travel, we're really settling into a nice rhythm where, Jean generally stays up a little bit later at night than I do. I go to bed early. I wake up earlier than him. And during the day, we go out. We're either we go for runs, or we're working out, or we go for a walk. We do some work. We, watch some YouTube. We've settled into our own little routine, and it's a lot nicer. I think this year is a lot more relaxed for us than last year was.
Yeah. But at the same time, when we were kind of towards the end of year one, back in April, May, so we kind of hit the wall, because on the first year, we wanted to do everything and something at the same time, and we end up realizing that we can always come back to one of those places that we really enjoy, right? And then we thought, this is not working, so let's just go back and reset. And that's what we kind of did, which helped us being in a better mindset right now, and knowing that things can change, and they will change no matter what. The fact that we are retired doesn't mean that you are not going to have any problems at all. You still have to deal with those things, kind of family related things, or I don't know, financial, not money wise, but having to deal with like doing the finances and the account. Or I have to call the credit card
Yeah.
because this stuff was not supposed to be charged on my accounts. All of those things you are not.
Well, life still
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. It's still
Yeah.
gonna happen. Flights are gonna be delayed.
Yeah.
Flights are gonna change, and all of those things you have to adapt, and you have to realize that it's okay, right?
Yeah. I'm just
Mhm.
looking up our travel spend because we have a question
Uh-huh.
from La M and looking to. Would you mind to compare prices for food and excursions in Bulgaria and Canada? Well, we haven't really done any excursions.
No,
Though we
no.
did book our train. So we're taking a train tomorrow from here, from Plovdiv to Sofia, and it cost 18 euros.
Yes, we will never be able to find this in Canada with Via Rail Arrow, right?
So yeah, if we look at groceries, last month we spent, for the month, we spent $730 US on groceries, but we honestly ate in more than we have ever. I think we
Yes.
cooked, I would say 80% of our meals were at home. 85% of our meals were at home
Yeah.
last month. So it's pretty on par with what we would have spent in Canada for the two of us for a month in groceries.
Yeah.
But I would say that the quality of food here is
that's
way better.
That's what I was gonna say. We go to the farmers market and we will use it to, I'm gonna get, I don't know, like these bananas because they are good. Back in Canada, 2 or 3 days after, okay, we have to throw them if you don't eat it. We go and we buy for whatever we wanna eat today or tomorrow. 2 days after, we come back again to the market because we know that you're gonna get like really fresh quality food, right?
Yeah, like the breads are fresh, the cheeses and yogurts are all freshly made. Like we have little stores that we go to for all of these things. Yeah, so I think groceries might be comparable to Canada, but other things are far less expensive. So it's hard to say, but you would be under what you would spend a month in Canada for sure. Living here. I don't know if that was helpful. Hopefully it was helpful. We do a full breakdown of our budget and our spending in the membership community. If people are interested, we have all of our numbers year to date listed over there. We talk about all of the dividends and our net worth and all that kind of stuff. And that's all over there. So if you're more interested in the finances and stuff, definitely check that out as well. So we had a fun question, and it was about our relationship and how has our relationship changed now that we're retired and traveling full time. Traveling full time means that we are together 24/7.
Yeah.
So
it does require wine to answer.
How are you feeling? Let's talk to the people.
Are we gonna go for a walk? Should Christine go for a walk and then we can talk without her?
No.
Or should I go for a walk?
Yeah, just go to the balcony. No, I mean, I think it's definitely an adjustment to go from each of you having a job where you're working and separate for 8 to 10 hours a day to being together nonstop. That's an adjustment, and that's not.
Yes.
It's not hard, but it's definitely a different relationship than we had before. And I think that we got some really good advice from a few different couples that are also full-time travelers. So they also are together all the time, and they take separate vacations. So they go on their own vacation once a year, whether it's for a week or a couple of days here and there. But they do something on their own outside of us as a couple. And I think that that's something that maybe we might start adopting into our own travels, right?
Yeah. We kind of did this a little bit when you were in Canada. Christine wanted to spend some time with her girls for like a girls' week, and then you did. So I was in Toronto by myself. It is good, right? So you kind of go and you spend more time doing the things that you like. It's not that you don't like things kind of doing together, but at the same time, it's a different perspective because again, we were all the time together, and now we are understanding more and more like the benefits of doing that. It's the
Yeah.
benefits of doing her thing. She likes history. She likes going to museums and digging, and trying to find things in the Maya ruins. It is not my thing, which is okay, right? So if she wants to, I am more than happy to go with her. I might be outside drinking a beer while she's doing her things, and it's the same case with me, right? So we are adjusting, but understand that it's important and understand that you actually need to do this, right? We go and for walks. Sometimes she says, I'm gonna go into groceries. Okay, go into groceries. I'll go while you are there. I go and I clean the apartment and we just do different things. And I think at the end of the day is having a real and frank conversation with your partner and understand that there are days, and we have those days, don't get us wrong, right? That our
Some days I look like this.
Yeah, yin yang, they don't work. And I said, I'm gonna go for a walk. And I'll go and I'll come back and everything is back to where it was. And sometimes it's not. It takes 24, 48 hours and you go and you drink wine. Let's go out on a date. And that's it. But it's important. So we try to do this. She already said that by the time she is in Thailand, she's going to go with some of her friends and spend some time together. Go and enjoy. And that's the beauty of this lifestyle, is doing the things that we wanted at the time that we want. It might be us together, and might be herself or myself, and
I might just go hang out with some elephants at a sanctuary by myself or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
But
I
good
think
question, right?
Yeah, our relationship, I think, is actually stronger and better than it was before, simply for that fact that Jean mentioned. Like there's no hiding. If one of us is upset or having a bad day, the other one knows it immediately. It's not like you can hide while you're at work and not hide, but like kind of deal with it while you're at work. You have to deal with it then and there because that's what you have, right? So I think our communication has improved significantly since we've started this as well, which is kind of good.
Yeah, but even when we are here, another learning opportunity that we've had, which is the fact that the places that we are in, it might be better if we do have like a one bedroom, because sometimes I love soccer, and when I would stay up late until 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning, it's because I'm watching soccer, right? And Christine is already in bed. If you were to be in a place with just like a hotel room, sometimes you don't have that, and it does influence, because it's not that I'm disrespectful of her time, but she wants to go and sleep, right?
I mean, we want different things at different times, right? So we're learning. Things are evolving and changing as we go as well. So.
Yes, that's
what Larry says.
But good question. It's important. Talk about that. Talk about your feelings, on how you feel, and what are the things that brings you joy and pleasure. And as a couple, you gotta go and help and support each other, right?
Andre, I've got this one. All right, so we are going to Albania. However, it's not this time because our Schengen time is running out. My best friend has wanted to go to Albania for forever. And so we're planning a trip with her and her husband to be there at the same time as them. So that's probably going to be in 2027. The way that things are going right now. However, it is high on our list of places to go. And even though those two would probably only be coming for a week or two, our plan is to probably be in Albania for at least 2 months, if not longer, because it's someplace that we want to check out. So it may look something like Italy for 2 to 3 months, and then Albania for 2 to 3 months. So that's sort of where we're going with it. Exactly. So Albania is not in the Schengen, but we'd already purchased our onward ticket from here to Thailand. So we couldn't kind of change that one up. So we need to be in Turkey for the end of October.
Yes.
So it just makes more sense to head that way to catch that flight to go to Thailand this time around. However, our plan is to spend some significant time in Albania, most likely in 2027, because next year's kind of already planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the tools. Is it the time? So we kind of had a script for some of the things that we want to cover, so we would not miss anything.
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about points and miles. So if anybody else has any more questions about that, we can revisit that. But we hit most of the points there. But yeah, some of the tools.
Yes. So since we started our journey, what we have been doing, it was quite helpful, as we've mentioned initially, was we started our plan thinking that our budget was going to be 40,000. And from 40,000, it went to 60,000. And here we are in 2025, just over a year. We know it's not going to be 60,000 anymore, right? But the only way for us to do this is knowing where are we spending our money and how can we make that money kind of go a long way. What we have done, we created a few spreadsheets. If you are a spreadsheet person, as I am, that it's actually free. You can see on your screen a QR code where you can kind of point your phone to the QR code and you'll be able to download some of those resources. They are free. We are more than welcome to do this, not only for budget, but also if you want to track your investments, if you want to see how much you are going to be able to live off throughout your retirement. So we can also have that spreadsheet.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, we struggled with some of this stuff when we were starting and when we were trying to plan out where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do. So we just wanted to make it a little bit easier for anybody else. So that's why he spent quite a bit of time putting this stuff together and putting it out there for you guys to be able to use as well. So if you have any feedback on those tools as well, let us know, because we're always trying to make them better and update them as best as we can. So definitely let us know.
Yeah. Also the net worth. We were running, I mean, we actually uploaded the net worth video for our members today. We were talking about the net worth. We started tracking in June or July. Was it June?
June 2020.
June 2020. Here we are in, I'm going to say September. That's when we finished the month. Our net worth actually doubled since we started tracking those numbers. And the only way that you are going to be able to see that is by tracking. Initially, it's quite difficult because you're going to be overwhelmed by the amount of numbers. You are going to say, oh God, I spent more than what I had, which is okay. It happens to us. When we met each other, we had $60,000 in consumer debt, and we worked hard. We made changes to the things that we wanted to do to live the life that we are having now. And there are sacrifices. Don't get us wrong, but at the same time, the benefits
far outweigh those.
Far outweigh. Look at, I'm gonna say me. Christine keeps telling me, and I was looking at my picture maybe a year and a half ago when we were doing the Camino de Santiago, and she says, did you see how your face looked different? It's just the choices that I have decided to have now in my life, which is prioritizing more health. And she says, you lost a lot of weight. And I said, nah, you're just being nice. You lost. Awesome. No, I should do one day and put, like, I'm going to put on the community tab the before and after. You can see how my head was like maybe this size. And it did reduce a little bit. It's just making those choices where it's going to be in our benefit, right? So, what? You look at
no, I think you've done
good. So those are the things that we need to change. But if you have an opportunity, go and download those resources. As we did say, they are free. So
Yeah.
go and do it. If not, use somebody else that you know that might be in need as well, right?
So Larry, okay, so this is a bit of a story here. We'll do it quickly. So
I might need more wine.
This is a depressing story for Xi'an right now, and it could change. However, no, we're not taking Turkish Air. We booked our flight from Istanbul to Thailand on Qatar Airways, and we were supposed to be taking Qatar Q suites for that flight, but they recently made an aircraft change, so we're no longer on the Q suites. However, it's still going to be a beautiful flight. We booked that flight using British Avios that we transferred to Qatar. And for all those Canadians out there, make sure you take a look at those credit cards, because the RBC cards, just for signing up for those cards, you get 35,000 Avios points. And they're great because you transfer those to British Airways with a transfer bonus, and 1 or 2 cards that you sign up for, you have a free flight plus taxes and fees in a business class seat. So make sure you take a look. For the Canadians, the RBC credit cards are fantastic cards to look at applying for, especially if you're looking to fly using British Avios or the Avios program.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's for you. You love all your tools.
Oh, yes. We have a bunch of them. We have points all over the globe, and it's the same way that we talk about diversity in our investments. We also have diversity in our points and miles, because sometimes one flight that we have with Air Canada, it's going to cost X number of points. But if you do flight with Qatar Airways, is going to take less points. So that's where we try to diversify. Let me see.
But you use seats.aero.
Oh yes, I do. I do use seats.aero to find those flights for us. You can do it manually if you want, but you're gonna be spending a lot of time going from one website to another one. We do have a seats.aero membership, so we have like the membership from seats.aero, which allows us to create alerts. And we basically tell, here's the flight that I'm looking for. Are they going to be available or not? And once they are, and if they are, we do receive an alert, and you kind of book those flights. That's actually what happened with these flights that Christine mentioned. So we got an alert from a flight from Istanbul to Bangkok, and that's what you're going to be flying now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So we're flying Qatar. Qatar Q, no longer the Q suite. We'll have to fly again to try the Q suites.
That's true.
But the business class on Qatar, we've heard, is also fantastic. So we're looking forward to it. And that's the beauty. I think that back to the whole points and miles thing, is that we've sort of decided that any flight that's over 7 or 8 hours, especially those overnight flights and those long haul flights, we would really like to do them in more comfort, because as we're getting older, it's harder, especially for me, to fly in economy, because I'm 6 foot, but I have quite long legs. So my knees are right up against the seat in front of me. And it's very uncomfortable for me to fly long distances. So the longer the flight, the more likely we are to try to use our points and miles to book into a more comfortable seat, whether that's premium economy or business. If it's available, we're going to try to do that. So that was that one. And then Amanda has a question.
Yeah.
Amanda, what items? Okay, so we're thinking, let us know if you want us to do this, but we were thinking to do a packing video, but we'll let you know a couple of the things that we have. We only have backpacks. So everything we travel with goes into our 2 carry-on size backpacks. For shoes, we really like the Peak
5 from Merrell.
5 from Merrell. It's kind of like a hiking shoe, but we also use them for running and working out. They're really supportive, very durable. We walked the Camino, the second half of the Camino. That's what we switched to, and had no issues with these shoes. Yeah. Very comfortable, and really good grips on the bottom, like sole tread, and they don't wear down.
And everything. I just put on on this screen, you're gonna have like resources for you. So if you do click on this QR code, you're gonna be redirected to our website. And by the way, it's the strategicearlyretirement.com. So you go to their website, and one of the links is actually a link where I started showing kind of a list of all the things that we do use.
Yeah.
So we can see our gear there. It's not 100% complete yet, but by the time that we do, if you guys are interested, we can create that video and we talk about the packing, right?
Says, a couple of the things that I would suggest is an extension cord. I don't think we could actually function in some of the Airbnbs without an extension cord for, charging our devices, plugging in our Fire Stick that we bring with us to be able to watch some of our programming that we like, charging laptops and stuff while we're doing some stuff on YouTube and on the blog and things like that. So these are things that are listed on that packing list.
Yeah, a lot of hardware stuff.
What else?
Yeah, the backpacks that we do use, hardware backpacks, some of the books that we also like.
Oh, and I have like a little mini whisk. It's the most random thing in the world. But part of this whole health thing that we're on is we're trying to get more protein into our diet. So in the morning, we started to have like a protein coffee, and we have like a little whisk, like a little USB battery operated whisk, and it turns our coffees into these beautiful lattes, and we're getting a little bit more protein in our diet, and it's really good. But it also works well for salad dressings and things like that when you're cooking. So
take a look on that resources for you, because you guys are gonna see a bunch of stuff that we have there. And by the way, and as always, and as we're transparent, I'm gonna say 98% of the products that we have are from Amazon, and you receive a kickback from
like a
Amazon.
Referral,
but it's not a lot. It's not even a few cents, more or less. But think about us, use our Amazon links, and we are more than happy to do this. Question about the Camino. What is the question? So anything else while we might wait for the question from La M?
Yeah, let us know your question. What else? I think that we've covered a lot of the questions that we got. So if anybody else has any other questions, let us know before we let you all go for Thanksgiving and stuff. But we do offer that membership side of our community as well. And we've had a couple of requests to make some of the dividends and net worth videos public to people. We are keeping some of that information on the membership side just for some more privacy. We are quite open about our finances, but as we're traveling a bit more, we want to kind of keep that, more to our community as much as we can. So if you have any questions about that.
And it's just like a space that we can talk about anything and everything in between. So we do have that, and we created a WhatsApp group, and we send updates to the guys. Here's what's going on. Here's what you can do, what kind of support, what kind of help do we need, and we go really into details and more on how we are doing so far.
How we're making this whole thing possible.
I mean, it is definitely possible. A lot of work that we had before, but would you come back? No?
Yeah, life is pretty good right now, guys. I can't say anything different. Carlos, it was really nice to see you here again as well. So thanks for coming. And so where it started and how long. So the Camino de Santiago has many different routes. The particular one that we did was called the French Way, and it started in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port in France. And then we walked from that. We were one day in France, and we walked over the Pyrenees and across northern Spain. It was about 800 kilometers that we walked, but we took our time because we had time.
That's when we finished work, and that's the first thing that we did after leaving work, right?
So a lot of people will stick to the guidebook and try to do it in the 36 days that it's kind of set out in its stages. We took 60. So if you have time, there's no there's no set time limit to completing it, and and you can do it in sections. You don't have to do it all at once too. So we were talking the other day of when we're going to do another Camino, whether we're going to do the same one or try a different one, but that might also be in our future coming up in the next year or so.
Yeah, we will definitely do another one, and we have a few options. We have the one in Italy, the Via Francigena. There's the Camino, like the same Camino de Santiago in Portugal, that starts either in Lisbon or in Porto, and you go to Santiago. There's another one in Japan, going through the temples. I mean, there are so many of them.
And we just found one in Italy, and it's a Prosecco tour. So it's not really religious, but for me it would be. So that's a possibility.
Yes, we'll definitely go and do this. Another question.
JP, are you flying? So we're not flying direct to Chiang Mai. We fly to Bangkok, and we arrive at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we have a couple hours, and we catch a flight from Bangkok up to Chiang Mai. It's an hour-long flight, so it's not too long. Yeah. So.
Yes.
So we should be in Thailand by the end of October.
By the end of October, yes. And it's going to be Christine's birthday, so that's her in November. That's her present, her gift, which is the Luncheon Festival. We are going to be and record that so you guys can see how it is, but that's one of the things.
Yeah. And my best friend is coming too, and we're meeting up with a couple other friends in Chiang Mai as well. So it's going to be a good time.
That's one of the things, going and talking more about what we were able to experience this year is having the community, having the channel, and having the opportunity of sharing not a little bit. We do share a lot of our lives with you guys. That's what
we get to see so many of you guys, which is so much fun. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, right? It's not about the money. It's not about any of that, but it's just the fact that we are able to find like-minded people who think the same way as we do, who love travel, who love going out, and who loves wine, who loves food and experience those things, finances. Because if you were to talk with some of our friends about that, it'll be still
just like a blank.
Difficult, right? But we found our niche. We found you guys, and that's why you are sticking and spending time with us. It's just because those things that the more that we share, the more that we know that was the right decision, right?
Yeah. Oh, Carlos, you went to Phuket. Okay, we don't know if we're going to go to Phuket. We actually have a friend there, but we're not sure if we're going to make it this time or not. So would you recommend Phuket? Is it too touristy? We don't want to be overwhelmed, even though we're tourists. We don't want to be overwhelmed with tourists. Sounds so weird. But let us know if you would recommend Phuket, because it's a possibility. Right now we are Chiang Mai, Laos, for a few weeks, then back to Thailand to Bangkok for Christmas, New Year's, then Koh Samui for a couple of weeks. More about that one later, because it's not just a regular trip to Koh Samui. And then we're not sure.
We don't know.
We don't know what we're doing until the end of April. So we're kind of open to suggestions. So let us know.
Yes, if I was telling myself what is going to happen in February next year, I will tell you right away, here's what we're going to do. Here's how many days you're going to spend. Here's what is going to happen. Nowadays, it's just adapting. It's too hard. Don't get me wrong. But let's see. All that we know is by April, we are going to come back towards North America again. But what is going to happen in between, we are open.
Yeah. So any comments, suggestions, questions, throw them in the comments. You are more than welcome. We want to help everybody as much as we can. If we don't know something, we will do our best to figure it out. But if we know the answers, we will definitely be sharing them. 30 minutes away. Okay, excellent. Well, maybe we'll throw Phuket on the list there. But we are pretty close to finishing up. We would stay all night with you guys, but we do have a video date with family back in Canada for Thanksgiving. So if you guys ever have any more questions, throw them in the comments.
We have one.
Wave to the camera. Hello. Did you ever get cold feet about your plan before you launched? Yes. I think when you are planning to change your life in any way, there's always some apprehension involved in it. And there's always, especially with this particular situation, we're always, is this going to work? Are we going to regret our decision? Will we run out of money, like Daniela asked? But I think at some point, you just got to go with your gut and know that you can make it work, right? Whatever challenges might come up. I think if you've gotten to the point where you're now questioning whether you should do early retirement and nomad life or retire, things like that, you've already done the back work. You've laid the foundation. And I think that you'll be fine whatever happens to come up that might be a challenge to your plan. You'll be able to navigate it. We did. We had apprehensions probably till the day we got on that plane, but we just decided that whatever happened, we were going to make it work. So.
And at the end of the day, if it doesn't work as you planned, you can come back and work. Life, it's not a mistake. It's not something that you did wrong. You tried, and so many things that we had in life that we've tried and it didn't work. What have we done? Well, we learn from our, can I say mistakes? Or learning opportunities. We learn from that and we improve and we make adjustments to what we were thinking, and that's how it is, right? Don't see as failure or anything like that. It's just allow yourself to do the things that you wanted to do, right? And adjust.
And I think the nomad life really lends itself to allowing you to pivot if there's things that aren't working out so well, right? Like if you really need to start saving some money and lowering your cost of living in order to make your early retirement plans work, there is a number of ways to do that as a nomad. If you're tied to a location, maybe that might be a little bit harder to do, but still, I think that all of us in this particular community of financial independence, early retirement, and nomadic living all have very similar mindsets where, yes, there's going to be issues, there's going to be problems, but we'll figure out a way to make it work in our favor. So
and if you think that those problems are going to stop just because you retired, no, life happens and you have to deal with it just as you had before. Maybe you have more time now because before you were working and you had to maybe spend some time in the evening to think about those issues. Right now is throughout the day, and we decided, I'm gonna do this now, or I'll be that later. So
no, I think yes. Did we have apprehensions? Totally, but no regrets now, and we wouldn't change anything at all. So
are you sure?
Yeah, 100%. Single parent fire. Hello, nice to see you here as well. So thank you guys all for coming. Is there any last questions?
Any questions, comments? What are you guys gonna do throughout the rest of the day? Did you like this video? Did you share with somebody?
And what's the time? I mean, it's noon, but here in Bulgaria, well, it's almost 1 o'clock Eastern time back home. Is it 1 o'clock? 2 o'clock.
It's gonna be. It's actually 1:30. Right? It's gonna 1:20, 22, 23.
So here it's 20 after 8 at night. So we tried to find a balance. And hopefully the timing worked out okay. We might try to push them a little bit later in the future, but that's the time for today. So
yes. Any questions? Let's see what happens in the chat. And again, you can see the link to our community if you want to join us and talk to us. You also have a lot of resources available for you. They are free. Just look at this QR code and you're more than welcome to download them and plan your future. So yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, it was so nice to see you. Have a great day. Any Canadians out there, happy Thanksgiving. Everybody else, have a great weekend.
Yes, and try Bulgarian wine. If you have a chance to look for Bulgarian wine, so try them. We're gonna finish our bottle while we talk to our family.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Take care. Have a good day. And I'll see you in our next video or our next live.
Yeah, next Sunday.
Bye.